what I'm using something called low odour thinners, and it's gorgeous because it doesn't smell. And you haven't got the strong smell of turpentine. Now, some people like the smell of turpentine, and when I smell it, it always reminds me of art school and gets a memory all going back to those days in art school when we were painting everything we could see and experimenting and doing all sorts of things. That was great. But it's not as good in the house. If you're getting some food ready and you're working in the lounge or somewhere, or in the bedroom, or even in the kitchen, it is nice to be able to have something that doesn't smell all the way through the house. So when I talk about terps, I'm talking about low odour thinners, but I will call it terps because I'm so used to calling or using that phrase. That's why I say a terpsy wash. Now, this is the lock through there. It may be difficult for you to understand it at the moment, but up here we've got the lock gates. This is a sail I'm just painting round. The lock gates are dark anyway, so I'm filling those in at this stage, because when I'm working in the drawing stage with a brush, where the obvious place is to fill it in dark, I just fill it in as I go along. You feel as though you're painting, not just drawing. You feel as though you're building it up and getting it all nice and in with depth. And at the same time, we can understand it, meaning we, the artists, we can understand it. Because there's nothing worse than an outline without any tone, because it's very difficult to understand exactly what it is. Now, we've got that, we've got the hill. I'm just checking hill, yacht mast. I'll leave the yacht mast for a minute. Oh, yeah, that's another roof that joins them two, which is rather odd, but there it is. It happens. So I'm painting it in. You see, drawing that line through there, I'm resting on the canvas. It's my little finger that's doing that. It's just resting as I drag it along. And if I'd got wet paint there, of course, I couldn't do it. And this is why I'm working left to right as much as I can, and working down as well. But we have got things to get over that, which I shall show you during the painting, once we're well into it. I mean, this is the bit that is nice, but it's always the bit that you're sort of a bit anxious about. Is it going to come off? Is it going to work? Have I drawn it correctly? And everything that is done in life, if it's prepared right first, then you can concentrate on doing the job itself. And once you've prepared your painting and got it all ready, then you enjoy the actual painting of it. Now, this boat is dark, so I shall paint that in, leaving the white of this chap on the side. When I say chap, I'm sure it's got a name. I can't think what it is, so at the moment I'm going to call it a chap. It's funny, you know, when I'm doing boats, I often, especially demonstrating, I'm talking about boats, and I've been around boats all my life, and yet I can't think of certain parts of them. I usually say the pointed end and things like that, but when all said and done, I'm painting them. I'm not building them, so it doesn't matter really, does it? I do know that they're called the bows. So here we go. This is dark. Let's see, that comes down there. This is the quay side here, running behind that fishing boat. Oh, we've got our little people. I'll just suggest them at the moment. Just suggested in there. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we are. A couple. We might put some more. We'll see. But we've got them in now. Oh, we've got the top of this boat here with its cabin. Let's draw the fishing boat in. Fill it in the windows. Oh, now this is where I'm going to go over the top of that, which is slightly wet. So I'm holding my hand. Also, it steadies it. Just rest on the easel and just hold your hand and put them in. And then it steadies the, no, I don't think there are any more then. What's that? I've got, I see, we've just got, comes down like that, that's it. Now it does steady the hand and it does help. Now, oh, this is all dark as well, but I won't put that in now. I'll put that in when I put the Terpsy wash in, I think. I'll just get these established. These are big posts down the side of the key. Now, what have we got? This is an important area because this is the edge of the key where the water's going to come up to. And they slightly turn up at the end. It's funny, I noticed this when I was there doing it. And they just turn up, which is rather nice because, and also they're broken at the edges. But by turning up, it just helps us to flick them up and give a bit of character instead of it being just very, very straight and uninteresting. Now, as we get closer, I'm making that bigger. And that really helps because we want all these little things in a painting. Anything that we can do or find to give a bit more character or a bit more shape or a bit more interest, then we put it in or slightly exaggerate it. And that's what I've done with the edge of those. And then I want to put some lines in. When I say lines, what it is, it's the lines of the flagstones that come down. I'm doing it very free. Notice that I'm not trying to get exact lines, and there's a bit of movement in them to give them a bit of character. But I must have some in because they'll be there for when I come to do the painting. Some were broken, of course, or when I say broken, they were certainly not equal and they sagged a bit in places. They must have been there quite a few years by now. Now, I think I'll put the reflection area in when I do the Terpsy, and I think I ought to put a Terpsy. By Terpsy, when I talk about Terpsy, I mean Terpsy wash, mixed paint, simply mixed with turpentine, or in this case, as I said, and I'll say it all the way through, low odor thinners, but Terps put with it and made almost like watercolour. And then this is why I'm using a watercolour brush. I'm getting a nice drawing out of it, and it makes life very nice. And you can just draw it away and get feeling into it. And then when you come in with the wash to get tones on it, then it's a Terpsy wash still, fills it all up, and from there onwards we can start adding colour and our paint. One thing I've just noticed that I must put in, and that is the masts. Now, for the masts, I could do it freehand and just come all the way down there. It's been known. But on the other hand, what I can do is to use a marl stick. It's a good excuse to show you how to use a marl stick, isn't it? Now, a marl stick is simply this. It's a stick, or when I say stick, it's wooden stick or handle, and on the end is some material. And it's for when you want to work over a picture like that and the picture's wet. Or if you want to steady your hand for detail work. And what I want to do on here, I can't talk while I'm doing this, by the way. The reason is I'm holding my breath. Bit of a kink in that, but it doesn't matter, there's no problem with that. Now, I think I'll put the Terpsy wash in, so it's simply onto another brush. Remember, with that brush, that was the sable. Now I'm going on to a bristle brush. Now, all I'm doing is, oh, look at that, isn't it lovely the way it works? I mean, it almost goes on like watercolour, doesn't it? I've got to be very careful around the mast, or otherwise I can make the mast disappear, because if I painted over with this Terpsy wash, it would literally, I mean, but let's show you. We're coming over here, and by the way, it's Terps, remember, that's making it lighter, as in watercolour, but here we want the clouds to come over. See how the blue's gone? See, the Terpsy line underneath has gone, and it comes over, so that will be a nice light area through there of cloud. Let's take that along, and down. By the way, when I say I've been mixing with blue, I've been mixing cobalt blue, but I've also been mixing a little bit of crimson, alizarin crimson with it. I just want that darker up there, so I've added a bit more. And then I want to come around here and just taper it off a bit. Oh, go up to the mast. Let's just take a bit of rag, and you see what you can do? Look at that. Look, you see, it just smooths it out nice. If you want it smoothed out, that is. It's just another way of doing it. And it goes over there. Now we're going to the mountains themselves, and we can't have them too dark, remember, because we've got to come forward. We've got darks in the foreground. I can break that line a bit if I want. Don't forget that these, I'm going to bring light into these, and I think I might leave them at this stage. I hadn't need to, I could still paint over when I come to it, but it will remind me. And don't, well, we're also going into, now here we are, look, another way, just get the finger in, just rub it around. That's where it's all going through there, all the mist or the cloud. Yeah, fine, lovely, that does that. So there's all sorts of ways you can do this. And it's amazing how quickly a picture builds up when you do it this way. It really is. Now, I've got the trees, of course, that I've got to go over, but the trees are going to be darker, so just get this tone in while it's on the brush. Put a bit between there, because there'll be some showing through. And then down onto here, getting a bit lighter again. And through into this distance. Now, I want the brush strokes to keep roughly the direction which things are going or growing. Always remember that, very, very important. Brush strokes, the direction things are growing or growing. And that does help to give the illusion of what we're trying to create. I mean, if it was doing clouds and they were blowing from left to right, then you'd get your brush strokes going from left to right, and it gets the feeling. Now, reflections. Let's put it in through here, around the boat, and then I'm going to let it drift off down here where it runs into the light area. And we've got a mast that, oh, did you see that? Look, that doesn't matter, that's the beauty of oil painting. Mast that comes down there, another one comes down there, then we've got solid. Now that's good because that shows us now the shape of the white boat. So it's all dark in there, and this is, you must half close your eyes and look at the tones when you're painting them. That mast is there, so that comes down, got another one coming down there. And then we've got the reflection of white again from that boat. And then into here. And that is the reflection done. Yes, I'm happy with that. Now let's just finish the rest of this painting in, or under painting with blue and crimson. I put a bit more pressure on that one, and it took more paint out, and so that it's left that definite shape between the dark boat and the side of the quay, just so I can keep it in mind all the time. These are very important, remember, on the side of this very light edge, because what it does, it makes the water appear away from here and further down. So when that's painted in, it's going to be a very important part of the picture. There we are. Now, I just want to see how wet this is at the top, or how dry it is. Oh gosh, look at that, look at that. It's no more than, what, 10 minutes or less I've been doing this, and it's dry up there. That's almost dry. Now that's good. because it means I can work straight over the top. I could have done anyway, even if it was a bit wet, it wouldn't have mattered. But I like it more on the dry side because it just stays there and it helps to give me that base. I don't like picking up too much. No, that's pretty good. That's a bit wetter, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do now, get all the paints out on the palette and then start painting it in colour. Oh boy.
Join Alwyn in the next programme when he'll be finishing off his harbour scene.
Now available to buy. Try these techniques at home whenever you wish. The extended DVD of today's workshop is now available from the Painting and Drawing channel. For further information and to order your copy, go to www.paintingdrawingchannel.com.